Hey Dan. So this is my third time making this video. Um the last two times were bull crap. The first time I made the video, I got all the way through it. It was great. I went to upload it, and about halfway through the upload, the internet froze and it wouldn't upload anymore. And it took me back to the previous page I was on, and I lost the entire recording. Great. Um, so, pre-warning, I'm sorry about this angle. This is about the only angle I have, though. I am recording on my phone this time because my computer records like an old potato. Um, so I guess let me go back over what I did in the other video. Um, Let me talk about my week because, as you can tell, my week's been kind of crap. Um, I don't remember if I was supposed to upload this video this week or last week, but it will be uploaded this week now. Speaking of this week, just so you know, this is in fact the 30th that I'm recording this on. And I feel like I have to say that because if my phone and my computer don't hook up properly, it might be until next week before I get this damn thing up. But besides that, my week's been going decent. Um, I've gotten a lot more exercise, which is a positive, because normally I'm lazy and I refuse to get in that extra exercise after I finish work. Um, I only worked 2 days so far this week, and I've only been scheduled for 4 days this week. I worked Sunday and Wednesday, and I work again tomorrow, which will be Friday, and I work on Saturday. So only 4 days this week, and I only work 4 days next week, which takes down the amount of money I'm gonna be making, which is sad, but oh well. Um, when I'm not in the middle of massively working, I'm making hats still very big on the making of hats. I made this, which I think my camera actually shows better than the other camera I was using. It's a crown hat. If you watch Riverdale, you might know that a character named Jughead wears a crown hat, and he even has pins on his hat, a circular one and a long one, and I managed to dig out my interactive introvert pins, and they actually kind of do the same thing. It's amazing. I was very happy when I found them in the box because they came in a bag, and then I put the bag inside of a box, and I just found the box that I put it in. So finished this hat. I finished another one like it, and my goal is to make at least 6 more for charity. I usually give hats to the homeless, to the people in shelters, and I actually live not that far from a place that houses people who have trouble making like rent and stuff. Like maybe a parent got laid off or a parent passed away or something, and there's a lot of kids that live there. And I was thinking, with Riverdale still kind of being a big thing, and with these kids already being their own version of an outsider, I'm sure they've heard a lot about Riverdale. They've probably seen it with some of their friends who don't live in that place, and maybe some of them might want a hat like this. I'm making my basic beanies as well, which is literally all I made in order to get this. Was I just made a basic beanie and then threw the edging on it. If I think about it, I'll throw the pattern down in the description as well. But nice little thing. I like this one. It's made out of cotton yarn instead of acrylic, which is a little strange for me to work with, but it is the only one I think I'm ever going to make out of the cotton yarn. I really like the colors. That's the only reason why I made it. I've been looking for an acrylic with this color pattern. So if anyone you know works in yarn, let them know that this color pattern is something that they should probably bring up if they ever get a chance. So I think that'd be really nice in a acrylic. I would never give anybody a cotton yarn hat, but I would if it was in acrylic. I would definitely be making more of those. Also in my spare time, besides hats, I've been making a lot of. Let me just see if I can pull them all out at once. I've been making a lot of blankets. So, for example, I've been making star blankets again. So I've got this one, which is actually appearing way better than it did in my last recording. Autumn Colors by Red Heart. And I don't know what the other colors are. This is like a white and brown mixture. And this is the same, and they added in the blue in it. It's really nice. I am making, these are all that I'm going to show you are like scrap blankets. They're also for charity. I'm thinking if I can get over 100 of these by the end of next year, I'm going to give these to charity as well. This one's just going to be browns and blues, and if I find any more of this stuff, probably the stuff in it as well. But I thought it looked nice, and I'm making multiples of these. I have that one, and then I have, if I can find it, which I can't, I don't think it's here. Oh, yeah, it is. I also have this one, which is oranges. Oh, maybe if I back it up instead of shoving it in the light, I might be able to tell better. It's just orange. The middle orange is turning up pink for some reason, but I promise you it's not pink. This is actually pink. So, yeah, when you put them up next to each other, they don't look the same. This is the color it kind of looked like to me. Like in person, when I look at this square compared to what this looks like on the screen, they look the same. I don't know why, but I have an orange star. The blues and browns that I showed you is only going to be the variegated yarns. I'm making another one out of, or I'm going to start another one soon. But I only have these three balls of yarn to throw into it right now, and they're all pinks. This one's a pink and purple mixture. This one's a pink and white mixture, and then this one's just a pink that comes across looking almost like it's all one color. Yeah, you can kind of see a slight difference in it. They're more noticeable in person. I actually found this at the store. I actually found a store where they sell what this is. And this is actually a Bernat yarn. I don't know what any of the others are. This is a Red Heart. And this is a Bernat. And that's about all I know. Most of this yarn was gifted to me. In fact, I have 2 full boxes of yarn like this. And then I have this partial box of it. It's just all yarn in this. And it's just an old Walmart box. Because I can't be bothered to go buy new storage for stuff. Headphones. This pink I showed you is part of one of the square blankets I'm making. So I have squares this size, and then I have squares slightly bigger for a different blanket. Just holding it up to this one is probably the better way. Slightly bigger squares. Probably going to be a slightly bigger blanket, to be completely honest. It's probably going to have the same amount across, just a slightly bigger blanket. And I've got 3 squares for that done. And these squares are being made out of yarns that are that I like this one where I've already ran out of it, where I have a smaller ball of yarn. So rather than using, like, you can see it in some of the orange I used in here as well because I wasn't sure what I was doing yet. But for these, I'm using something more like this where I don't know what the yarn is. Like, I couldn't, like, this yarn looks really bright. I'm not even sure. Yeah, there. Um, I don't know what yarn this is. I don't know if this is cotton, a form of acrylic, a form of wool. I don't know what this is. I got this yarn, one of my aunts had a family member, I think it was a family member on her husband's side or a friend of hers mom or something passed away, and she gave me a lot of yarn, and so I don't know what all this is. This might be an acrylic, but it feels different than most of my other yarns, so I wouldn't put it into a project with most of the yarns I buy because it doesn't feel like that yarn. So because it's so small, I wouldn't put it into something like this, but instead I'd make probably one of these out of it. Or maybe I'll finish up this pink square with it. I haven't decided yet. But it's all small skeins like that. This is actually a cotton, but if it's small like this, it would probably go into a square rather than me bothering to throw it into an actual blanket. With a few exceptions, of course. But that's those. This is what I'm doing with all the browns. I started a, I don't know, you might be able to tell. I started a 10 stitch blanket. That's what it is. It's a 10 stitch blanket, and I got through a square on it and realized I hate the pattern. The corners didn't turn out like actual corners to me. I mean, this is supposedly a corner, but yet I have to pull it in order to make it look like it fits in with the rest. And then this corner over here looks real small now. It was the worst. And I was so tired of just pulling at it to try and make it look decent that I opted into taking the first square that I made, the first official square. So I did like the very center, and then I did the full square around it, and then I opted to just go around that with your basic crocheting. And I figure I'll just turn it into a proper square the normal way. And I'll use browns mostly for this. I guess it doesn't on this camera too. This in person looks way darker. Actually, all of it looks way darker. But in person, this and this look about the same color. These two are about the same color. And this, well, and all of this is so much darker. And I don't know why it keeps turning up this light on camera. It did it on my other recording where this looked blue. So I guess I'm kind of glad that it at least looks the right color. Because that just looks like a lighter shade of what it really is. And then for my reds, I'm working on this, which I started with a circle to make. And I was originally going to make a rug out of this. It was going to be this and what I'm doing with the greens, which is this one. They were going to be pieces to a rug. And then I realized I didn't really need the rug. It was kind of like one of those kiddish rugs, and you piece a few different squares together to make it. And I still think it'd be nice, but I don't think I wanted the circular center for it. This one only has a circular center because I was actually starting with a bag. I was going to make it a bag, and then I decided I didn't want to make it a bag, so I started squaring it off to make it a rug. Now I decided I didn't need the rug, so now it's going to be a blanket. And there is a orange spot. It's like yellow to orange. Doesn't come up very good on the yellow spectrum, but I promise it's yellow to orange. And it goes around it like almost an entire time. before switching into a new color. And I was just too lazy to pull it out. I just restarted on it the other day, got the ball of yarn made for it, and I just didn't want to pull it out. Just like I didn't want to pull out the circular center when I started on my second idea. But this one and this one's just going to be the exact same thing, only using greens. And I did try to square this off a little. It didn't work perfectly, but I am trying to square this one off a little bit better than I did with the red. This is just a piece of that other one. But I think that's about it. I don't have a ton of yarn. Very big misconception because I'm making this. I do not have a ton of yarn, just a lot of scraps. I actually went through all of my yarn yesterday to make sure that I had all the scraps separated from stuff I can actually still make projects with. And I don't know if I can do this without making people dizzy. But I actually have this down here. I have 3 of these. And only 2 of them are actually full. I have the top one and the bottom one full. And that's it. That's all I have for yarn. So I think I'm doing pretty good. So I guess that's it. Talk to you later. Bye.